Hey y'all, this is Andrew at Plainview Farm, and today I'm doing a video about the tractor, but not the tractor video that I guess I was planning to put out, or maybe that some of you were expecting. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here we have a 1948 Farmall M with a Super K loader, a Coyote Super K loader. So this is a Farmall M, but if you look, it's got a lot of stuff added to it from a later model Super M, MTA 400. I'm not exactly sure. You can see here we've got a live hydraulic pump. There is a power steering pump between the live hydraulic pump and the distributor. Nope, and we've got a plug wire off. Let's put that back on there. Come on. There we go. So as I said, we've got the live hydraulic pump, the power steering pump. It does have a Charlene, whatever you call it, the motor up there. This right here is my reservoir for the power steering setup. You can see also it's got a Delco distributor on it that is pointing up instead of, going straight horizontal out there. Also, it has the later battery box with the seat mounted to the battery box. Now, obviously that seat is the wrong color, but it's okay because I found another seat that mounts to this kind of battery box for these types of tractors that I'm going to be picking up here in a few days and putting on it. But it has the battery box under the seat. It has been relocated because we have a great big hydraulic fluid reservoir right there underneath the gas tank. Another thing that you may notice is right here, we've got our PTO lever. It is not the lever back here behind the seat. Somebody has put this on it at some point in time. I don't know much about these. I don't know if they were an aftermarket, I don't know, or if an invention that somebody came up with because they didn't like reaching back behind them and they'd rather select it, or turn on the PTO in front of them or what. But it's got that. Another deal that we see here is somebody has taken a I don't know, it looks like a pipe nipple actually. It looks like a really thin or really narrow pipe nipple and welded it to the parking brake lever here and ran a piece of rod up here and attached it to the tree in order to turn on or to pull up the parking brake lever, which I'll be honest with you, that's a kind of a handy little addition there. But as I said, it also has the Coyote loader. One of the things that it does have, I was told by the guy that I bought it from that the owner that he bought it from used it for logging. So there are 3 levers there. One of them is a third function. We do not have a remote on the back, so that's probably going to get turned into a remote valve for the back of the tractor here. As you can see right here, there's some heavy-duty brackets have been welded on to the front of this loader, and then we've got this hydraulic hose hanging there. The tractor is not rusty. It's got a coat of primer on it, a brown primer. So I have a brown Farmall. The primer, though, is peeling off. You can kind of see the red underneath it in spots. So we may have to see what we can do about that. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. This is going to be a working tractor. I'm gonna use it here on the farm. I think it's cool, number one, but it is going to be a working tractor. So I have plans to paint it one of these days. Y'all know how that kind of stuff works. But I do have plans to paint it eventually. But in the meantime, we may have to just kind of put a little lipstick on the old pig and just get by. That way it's the right color. I mean, we want the tractor to be the right color. There are some leaks in a few different places. I don't know if you can see here the axle seal, at least on that side, is leaking. It's a little wet over here as well, so I'm guessing both of those need to be replaced. We've got a little bit of oil leakage back here at the PTO. You can see all the oil, the hydraulic fluid, crud leaking. There's a lot of seals in this thing that need to be replaced, and they will be eventually. Somebody put a radiator hose on this instead of the pipe that, you know, goes up here to the air cleaner. That carburetor probably needs to be rebuilt. We may need to adjust the timing as well. I'm not sure. It actually starts and runs pretty good, but I mean, it pops and chokes and sputters a little bit, depending on what you're doing with it. I've tried to adjust the carburetor a little bit best I could to get it where it's idling a little better. It was idling kind of rough. There is no belly pump. There's no belt pulley. It's got a 12 volt battery. It's been upgraded to 12 volt. Now, I'll tell you this, one thing that I don't really like, is that a key switch has been put on it. You start it with a key instead of the little foot deal down there. So we're probably going to eventually put one of those back on it. I'd much rather have the original old key or the original old ignition, you know, button on there in order to be able to start it. But it's a pretty cool tractor. Somebody, again, they put an inline filter on it. I know there's a lot of guys don't like inline filters on these. They do have the sediment bowl, which that probably needs to be cleaned out. I just picked this tractor up here over the weekend. I've been playing around with it a little bit. I've been using it to feed hay. If you can see there, I've got my bale strapped to the bucket there. So I need to go ahead and I need to feed the rest of this bale of hay to the cows. So let's get this tractor started and I'll show you how she runs. But first I'm gonna go get a jacket. I'm gonna turn on the fuel. Okay, so always make sure it's out of gear. We're gonna choke it and give it just a little bit of fuel. Turn this key and see what happens. It's a good sound, isn't it? I don't have weights on the tires, but there is fluid in them. So I do have some weight in the back, in case you were wondering if you noticed. Let's feed some cows. Take off this strap. I know. Just leave it there on the ground. If you ask them, they'll probably tell you they're starving. Here we go, cows fed with the Farmall. There we go, sis. Get up there and get you a bite. Get up there and get you a bite, girl. We've got a couple stragglers over there by the gate. A little bit of hay fell out on the way through, I guess. Old Samson and the boss cow. We'll go running back through. Girl. In the bed of the pickup there, I don't know if you can see it well enough or not, but that is my incomplete 3-point. It's not all there. Haven't decided what to do with it yet. I'm actually thinking about trying to find me a like a 560 fast hitch or something like that to put on it. I don't know. We don't have to do anything like that right away, and I'm not going to, so I'll get to that eventually. So check this out. Push the brake in, pull up on that little wire. And we can shut her down. There we go. We're in good shape to put shingles in the bucket. The guy I bought this tractor from told me that these two larger cylinders here were rebuilt in the last year. And let me tell you, they hold pressure. I've tested it out and shut the tractor off and leave it setting like this with the loader up in the air like that. And like I said, it doesn't bleed off. So I guess Farmall tractor videos are probably going to be in my future. Let's go put those cows back where they belong. All right, you two. Back on the other side of the gate. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll rake some of this up with my foot for you. How about that, Sambo? Come on, buddy. There you go. Oh, calm down. And just like that, the cows are fed with the tractor once again. So just a quick update on the Coyote. I have been taking my time on it. I want to get, as I mentioned in a previous video, I want to get the space I'm in dry. As you can see, I still don't have doors on the barn yet. That is coming, and I'm actually getting ready to shingle it here later today. I'm getting there. If it's not too dark in here, I've got fluids drained out. I have emptied the reservoir, I've drained the radiator, and I've let the oil out as well, which, and you can see that's a 5-gallon bucket. You can see how much coolant had gotten into the oil. There's not supposed to be that much liquid in that bucket after draining the oil out of the tractor. And I will share something with you that's got me a little bit puzzled. My loader bracket on the Coyote, the bolts that go into the loader bracket, there should be a bolt right back here behind this one that you can see. There should be one right there, and it's gone. And actually, that one right there is loose, and the two bottom bolts, there's 4 of them there, they are also a little bit loose. Of course, I do use this loader on this tractor quite a bit, but I wouldn't think that I would need to constantly be monitoring those bolts to make sure they stay tight. So I don't know, like I said, that's got me puzzled. And I've checked some of the forums, I've checked online, and some of the Facebook groups, that kind of stuff. And from what I can tell, this seems to be a bit of a problem with Coyote tractors. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever dealt with a tractor that's done anything like this. I mean, I've not had a lot of tractors, but I've been around a lot of tractors. And whenever I was a kid, I don't ever remember us having to go through and make sure everything was still tight on the tractor so something didn't fall off. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. So this is likely to be the first of many videos with the M Farmall. I'm awful proud of it, so is my son. We've got big plans to, you know, work and fix and maybe bust some knuckles, scrape some knuckles, that kind of stuff on it, twisting wrenches, turning wrenches, however you say it. I'm not much of a mechanic, but I don't mind to try to learn stuff. I've always been more of a parts changer, but if you're gonna learn, I think these old Farmalls are probably something good to learn on. And just a quick update on the pigs as well. Once this weather kind of turns, we are getting toward the end of March here, and we've had a lot of very cold days as of late. Hopefully the weather is going to turn soon. Our last frost date is April 15th. So, you know, we're coming up there in a few weeks. We'll be near that last frost date. So I'm gonna try to get the ground prepped, and somewhere around there is where we'll do our seeding for our pig pasture. And I've actually got another job for the pigs to do while we're waiting for those seeds to germinate and start growing. And be sure and stay tuned for that video as well. So as always, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it to be useful. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. That way you know what's going on here at Plainview Farm. And as always, again, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.